Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
We continue on that hand. Okay. The sweet and easy destruction of great evil. So that time we learned about the bodhicitta, right? Bodhicitta is the earth, right? It can carry everything and so on and so on. Remember, we go through the pyramid in English.
Yes.
Okay, now let's read this story.
All right. The life of Milarepa. From the Gungtang province of West Tibet, close to Nepal, Milarepa had a hard childhood and a dark youth. He was only 7 when his father died. Relatives had taken over his father's property and mistreated the bereaved family. His mother, bitter, sent Milarepa to train in black magic, to wreak revenge on those who had blighted her life. She was given her wish. Milarepa proved adept at the practices he was taught, and unleashed a tide of destruction, killing many. But he came to regret his actions and looked for help in shedding the bad karma he had acquired during his vengeful adolescence. He first attached himself to the Nyingnyampa Lama Rongtan, who, observing that Milarepa had a karmic connection to Marpa, sent him to learn with him. Marpa, being aware that Milarepa had first of all to purify himself from the negative karma he had accumulated, exposed him to an extremely hard apprenticeship. Among other trials, he had to build towers out of rocks to Marpa's specifications with his bare hands, only to be ordered to tear them down again. But finally, Marpa gave Milarepa full transmissions of all the Mahamudra teachings from Naropa, Maitripa, and other Indian masters. Practicing these teachings for many years in isolated mountain retreats, Milarepa attained enlightenment. He gained fame for his incredible perseverance in practice and for his spontaneous songs of realization. Of his many students, Gampopa became his main lineage holder.
What do you think?
Why?
Did you know this person?
Yes. If I remember reading his stories, I get them mixed up sometimes, the different Tibetan masters, but reading his story, it's very familiar. I'm familiar with the Mahamudra and Naropa. And I think the transmission actually happened where Marpa, correct me if I'm wrong, but as I recall, to give Milarepa the full Dharma transmission, he like hit him on his head, I think with a shoe, and he like passed out. And when he woke up, he had the full Dharma transmission. Is the story I recall hearing about, reading in this. I've mentioned this book a few times here. It's called The Words of My Perfect Teacher, right? It's called The Words of My Perfect Teacher. Yeah, I have it over there. Yeah. That's the Patrul Rinpoche we've mentioned. We've mentioned that one here.
Actually, he was when he came to let's say he sent to practice with Mappa, right? And and he will expect him to build the 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 tower, right? So and had teared down many times. I think 9 times. I think, and to the point that he almost give up. But in the meantime, the master teach all the disciple with the right dharma. But the master did not teach him anything. Only torture him with a lot of hardship. Why the master doing that? Do you know why?
Well, he had this negative karma to resolve, and perhaps if he
You know,
just
you mean that he have negative karma with the mappa?
no from the using the dark magic and killing people.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because as I recall in the full story, Marpa even sent him to protect Buddhist followers that were being harassed and killed by other people. He had Milarepa call down like storms on them. But so, I think frequently, like I've seen in my life, when I first got into Buddhism, I put a lot of effort in and became very serious. And then there was a period where I drifted away. So it was like I had built a tower and then I tore it down in a sense. I
Mm,
didn't I didn't take care of it. And perhaps, if Milarepa's mind wasn't yet ready for the teachings, it would just be like building a tower for him to tear it down. So rather than do that, give him the teachings when he's not ready, Marpa first prepared him so that he would be ready, like that he was, demonstrated his devotion and was very hungry to receive the teachings at that point.
mm. Yeah,
But
that
I'm
is
not completely sure. What do you know why?
yeah. Well, that is one way, and the other way is basically, let's say that if the master teach him directly without give him the hardship, right? He will not be able to attend the dharma. The reason is the negative karma he have will that is the obstacle that will block him from it.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, he understands him so well. That's why he make him to do all this hard work to first also help him to clear his own negative karma, because karma comes from the mind, right? The mind is so evil at the beginning, even though he know he feel regret, but those things still there a lot. So and also the self, the self, the self-centric. Um, in order to beat himself, to make sure that he no longer have any self, right? That means no self. Um, if he be able to to pass his test, um, therefore, if his mind is fully concentrate for the Dharma, he will be able to pass the test. But you know what? To the point that uh, the Mappa one day he have a dream, and I think there is one Bodhisattva. It said that to him that you should teach uh, Mira now, because he will be the one your what do you call the
That's
successor,
it.
right? Successor. So and he will widely stretch your dharma. So that's why from that dream, when he woke up and he start to teach the dharma to Mela Vipa, would give him everything, teach him everything. And and you know what? Uh, Milarepa be able to learn quickly and be able to attend the Dharma because his mind is it it it's so firm to the Dharma, right? That's why when he learned that black magic, it for him is very easy because his mind is fully focused on it, but with a negative intention. But now he already turned 180 degrees, and therefore for him very easy to fully focus after all the hardship. Because just like you said, he's so hungry for the Dharma. Why he's so hungry for the Dharma?
Well, he's been waiting for so long.
I
He
know,
had
but
all
what
of
is
these
the whole purpose?
trials.
What is the whole purpose? The Dharma help him.
Well, he also regrets his actions in the past. So I think he wanted to become a cause for good. Um, and I'm not,
What is the motivation that motivation?
I mean, the core motivation ideally would be bodhicitta. And I'm not sure if Milarepa had given rise to bodhicitta at that point, if that was his motivation.
Basically, beside that, he because his negative karma is so huge um, that he did not know what to do. He didn't know how to eradicate it, right? So he heard that the proper dharma from Buddhism would help him to eradicate the karma. So that is the big motivation for him.
Mm.
Not the bodhicitta at that time. Maybe after this, and he will I think the bodhicitta also after that. I think so. And um and so and he the one in Tibetan called that this person is one life first to become the Buddha. Basically, they call him the Buddha. Yeah. Um, so and he the one to bring the Dharma widely stressed to Tibetan as well. That is due to the bodhicitta, and that also helped him to quickly destroy all his great evil as well. Um, so this is very beautiful. You see that the from okay. Let me. I want one of the Buddhist lay person here. They asked me that when we kill an ant, right? We will create only small comma, but when we kill a buffalo, we will create big comma. And I asked him why, and he said that well, because the ant Buddha nature is smaller than the buffalo Buddha nature. What do you think?
Mm. Well, yeah, I don't think when we talk about Buddha nature, we could talk about size. But because the Buddha nature is like beyond large or small, it's not like an ant has more or less than a buffalo. But I do think like the lifespan of a buffalo is potentially much longer. The amount of, say, work that goes.
Why when we pray the let's see you we kill the ant the offended comma is not that great. But when we kill the cow or buffalo, the offensive comma is very big. Why is that?
Well, I think part of it is the complexity of the life form and the lifespan as well. So an ant is a relatively like simple life form, and its lifespan is relatively short. But a buffalo is much more complex. A lot more work goes into a buffalo growing to, like, say, full maturity, and it can live much longer. So what we're taking from that consciousness is much more. It'd be like it's worse to rob a bank than it is to rob a gas station. You're not going to get as much money from a gas station as you are from a bank. And lifespan, in this case would be the metaphor would be the money for kind of lifespan and potential.
Well, I am not too sure on that part, but there I look at the buffalo, right? Usually the offensive karma is big or small. It depends on the one being killed. They have a lot of resentment against us. That means between the ant and the buffalo, well, the buffalo they have when we kill them, right? I've when you know what in Vietnam, right? When we this is the bad culture, bad custom in old day. So every year we want to perform the ritual offering to the spirits, right? Outside, in the village, in the village, we all gather together and we what do you call? We do the fundraise and we buy the cow, right? The cow, and we kill the cow and to make the offering to the spirit.
Hmm.
Hopefully, it will help us to have a peaceful life for the whole year. Not usually at the beginning of the year, of the Lunar New Year. After the Lunar New Year, that means on the 10th, usually we do that. And you know what? When the cow, you bring them and you take them to the place that we will execute them. You know what? The tear comes from the eye.
Hmm.
They know. They feel it that they are about to die. And you know what? When we kill anyone, even the animal, the resentment because before they die, they have a lot of hatred, resentment against the one who killed them. And this is where it creates the offensive karma, it greater or small, right there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And the end, of course, they also have, but not that big compared to the big animal. Because the big animal they have the somehow the intellectual side. The more intellectual or the more brain the power, the more resentment. But the end they don't have that big, right? So they do not have. So um how okay so how do we well along we do not eat meat. This is how we can end in the killing karma. No meat consumption. Because the meat consumption that the 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 killing kappa, right? We call the kappa. That means for a long time we live in the world that involve all the killing. The cause of the killing is the consuming meat, consuming consumption of meat. The retribution of this is the war, the disaster, right? The pandemic, epidemic, right? That means the COVID-19, all those things. And all kind of war you see right now, it happened everywhere. Earthquake, flooded, hurricane, or whatever. You name it. Now we have everything. And the war going on in Ukraine and Russia, right? So this where they come from? Consumption of meat. Why? Why consumption of meat create all this disaster? If we eat the animal now, in the Surang Gama Sutra, they say that if we eat the deer, later the deer become human, and we become deer. The new human eat the deer again, and it repeat the cycle. Why? Because the hatred and the resentment. Does that make sense?
Yes, Ty.
This is important. So therefore, that's why in Mahayana, especially, we want to become a vegetarian because of the love and kindness and compassion, and this will help us to end the killing kappa. Again, it's not easy. Um, but if we cannot be able to become a vegetarian right away, well, we can make a vow. Maybe 1 month we can have 4 days. For example, you don't have to remember which day. All you need to do is pick one day in the week and use that day for at least 1 week. You have 1 day. 4 weeks you have 4 days,
Mhm.
and you can increase after that. It will be very helpful. There, in the Vietnamese class, there is one of the lady, she asked a good question. Let's say that if a judge, right, who, if a judge who wrong, give a wrong verdict, that means the person who been um, what do you call,
Convicted?
convicted, right, and he wrongly executed, right?
Hmm.
Do you think that the judge play a bad karma? And do you think that the one who took the order to execute that one also have a bad karma?
Yeah, I think the intention of the judge, if the judge knew he was innocent and made the verdict anyways, then definitely a heavy bad karma. If the judge didn't know and thought he really was guilty, well, I think there's still some sort of consequence to that. If you involve yourself in the killing of another living being, even if you think that human laws say they should be killed, I think the laws of karma go beyond the human laws. So I think there is still a consequence to involve oneself in the killing
What
of
about the executioner?
another. Well, I know that there's stories about that in Buddhism. I know where there is the executioner that I think later became a follower of the Buddha, and that the karma was different for him because he was just carrying out orders, but still, he chose to carry out those orders. He chose to be the hand. He wanted to kill people. So I think, that has to have some sort of negative karma too, to choose that as our livelihood. It just doesn't seem like a good livelihood.
Yeah. If the judge wrongly gave the verdict, well, let's talking about the worldly law, right? Let's say the constitution of the US. If later on they look into the case, they investigate, and they found out that this person is wrongly convicted. Do you know what happened to the judge?
If the judge, I guess it depends if the judge was being deceptive. If the judge knew he was wrongly convicted and had some sort of evidence that proved um, he didn't really do the crime, then I think the judge could be in trouble. I'm not sure about the laws there, but if there wasn't evidence, if it was reasonable what the judge did, then the judge wouldn't be in trouble.
But let's say that they found the evidence that prove that this is the wrongly. convict, right? So um, even though let's say the judge doesn't know, did not know, and do you think that?
Oh, he's not in trouble then, or she's not in trouble.
I
If
think that he
they're
could lose his position.
well, if I mean, if he made the best judgment on the information that he or she had, then that's all that can really be asked of that person based on the law. Like if later they found, say, DNA evidence that showed that the person was innocent, well, if the judge didn't know that at the time, they just had to make their best
Yeah.
choice. Would be my
So, and do you think that the one being killed, and he know that he wrongly convict? What do you think what kind of
he's gonna be
emotional?
upset. He's gonna be upset,
He's
upset at the
upset,
judge. More upset at
very,
the judge than
very,
at the executioner, I would think.
and he very uh he will have a lot of resentment against the whoever give that order, right?
Yeah.
Usually the judge, and
Hmm.
that means the judge will have a very heavy offensive from with this person. Um, there is next time I will do the translation. There is a very famous um, uh, story about this. There was in one of the Chinese dynasty, right? There were one of the judges. He wrongly convicted that person, and you know what? After he did that, he realized that he made mistake, and he quit his job, and he go and he become the monk, and he practice. And you know what? The one being executed follow him for 10 lifetime,
Mm.
try to kill him, but he cannot be able to kill him because the that means the monk he practiced very pure, uphold the precept very pure, no mistake. His mind very pure. But on the night of 10, right? He were fully respected by the king, right? And he also the the king teacher, right?
Hmm.
Advisor, right? That's like the teacher, and and the king also because the king respect him so much, and you know what? The king built him the chair with the sandalwood. It's very good. It's good smell, something like that.
Hmm.
Very treasure, very special. And on the day when he received that, because the chair for him did when he do the Dharma teaching, that is where he said, right? And on that day, you know what? He said that into his mind, he said that, wow, I will um, fully respect by the king, and I will honor by him, and he give me this chair. Wow, how wonderful is that? When he had that thought, you know what happened to him?
He died.
No, he not die. He do no
I
thing.
don't know. I just was guessing because he
Okay,
slept a little bit.
okay. You know what? After that day, on his knee, on his both knee, they have the mouth, and you know what? It's so painful, cannot endure, and no one can help him to kill that problem. And you know what? He have to feed the mouth from the knee, the meat. One, he feed the meat into that, the and the pain is some release from that, right? but
Mhm.
it tortured him for every day for many months.
Mm.
Okay, and you know what? And he also that but he very humble. Basically, he very humble. And you know what? Usually, he always help out other people who have who in need, right? And you know what? They were the homeless, right? He helped out the homeless, and one of the homeless have what do you call the long-term disease, right? And look very disgusted. But you know what? He personally take care of this homeless with a good heart every day, every day. And one day, that homeless person said to him that if later on, if you encounter any problem, you go to that direction and for a few hours, and you will come to the hill. And up in the hill, you will see the small hut, right? And nearby the tree. And you come there, and there will someone will help you. You know? And you know what? And 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 the pain he endured so long, no the doctor, medicine master can be able to help him. And he remembered the saying from that homeless, and he go and look for that homeless, and he follow the direction instruction that given to him. And you know what? He came there at night time, right? He get to the hub, and he went in and he saw that man, and that were the homeless man. Yeah, and that is the bodhisattva basically, but he did not recognize that right away. And this man said that you stay here one night, and in the early morning you go to the stream, small river stream, and use the water and watch and pour the water on top of your botany to wash away those things. Then your problem will gone. Yeah. And you know what? When he wake up early in the morning at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, he go to the rook or the stream. You call the rook or stream, right?
Either one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either one, yeah.
And he about to pour the water in onto the knee, and you know what? The knee begin to talk. Ah, but what the knee talk? And he said that you well know about the history, right? And then the master said yes. And do you remember last 10 life ago? There were the just name like that, and there were the person who been convicted and executed, but it was wrongly executed with that name. Do you remember that? And he said, yeah, I think I remember that. And you know what? And he said that you are you were the just, and I were the one that wrongly convicted by you. And I have followed you, I have been follow you for 10 lives. I cannot be able to kill you, to take revenge, because your mind is very pure. But on the 10 life right now, this life, I be able to get in and be able to harm you. Why? On the day you remember, you will receive the gift from the king, the chair, and your mind you have you have the forethought about you feel so proud of it, That means that's why I be able to get in, and that's why I be able to harm you. You understand that so far?
Okay.
Mm. And you know what? Today, fortunately, you very lucky that you have Bodhisattva who help you and help me to resolve the hatred between us, one for all. After this, we do not have any more resentment, no more offensive karma. Okay. And you know what? He poured the water onto the, and he said that now you can go ahead and wash your knee. And you know what? He poured the water, and the pain is so painful, very extreme pain, and he will knock out, right? He will knock out. Mm. And after he wake up, and he remember the thing that go to, right? And he went back to see the house will disappear, and the that bodhisattva his house will disappear, and he know that the homeless actually the bodhisattva come and help him.
Mm.
What did we learn from this story? Do you know?
Well, one about, it seems that the main lever for karmic retribution is rooted in consciousness. When we're talking about like this story, it was the agent of the return of the karma was the consciousness of the person who was harmed. And so if the consciousness, it's the degree to which the being that was harmed, like that their consciousness is upset about it, that really determines the severity of the karma, like, like the ant. But
Mm.
but I guess I do have a question about that, because the retribution for harming a Buddha is severe, but a Buddha is not upset about being harmed and doesn't wish ill will upon the person who caused them harm. So
Okay, 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 that's good.
there must be other like elements of karma at play. Um, and then that, pure actions can protect us from the severity of our karma, can lighten the severity of our karma, and that when we step outside of good actions, right, it's the precepts are to protect us, to help us not suffer. But if we step outside of those, even not breaking a precept necessarily, but having some sort of wrong thinking, we can open ourselves up to some suffering that we wouldn't otherwise have to go through.
Okay, that's good. So let's see the Vietnamese name Ngộ Đạt Quốc sư. Quốc sư that means the king teacher. Ngộ Đạt that means his name. Vietnamese. He was a monk. Okay. Okay, let me answer your question. You compare this to the Buddha, right? Remember, Buddha is the one who fully enlightened, right? Um, and you say that prayer bad karma to the Buddha will be very offensive karma, right? And Buddha do not have any resentment. And how that pray the bad karma?
Yeah. Well, as you say, I'm thinking like, well, I guess the people around the Buddha could be upset about it.
No, the secondly one do not have any hatred or um, resentment. But
Yeah.
how that
Mhm.
make us to have very heavy offensive karma? And this is very important to understand. Remember, yes, usually the offensive karma it comes from the one that has been harmed will have a resentment that will make the link, right? become very strong, and that's how the retribution become, right? But in the case of the sacred one, like Alahat or the Buddha, Alahat or Buddha or the sacred one is the source of benefit of all living beings. Does that make sense? When you cut the good source, that means a lot of living beings will will not be benefit from it. That is the most offensive comment right there. That means we cut the benefit of many living beings. That is yeah.
That makes sense.
So, but in for the common people like us, um, the resentment is the one that create the. That's why when we in this lifetime, right, when we encounter the certain negative common affinity, and we need to know that everything is not come from sky or without vision. Always have a vision, and we should recognize that and should be able to accept it with good heart. Do not have any offensive, and accept it and try to come transform that into the good one. And this is important. Um, Later on, I will show you the 7-step model, how to deal with the negative common affinity. And this make us different from the rest of everyone. And this is called the virtue. Virtue is not come from sky or come from the given or from the external goodie. No, only from the negative situation. It will make us have the virtue if we deal with loving kindness and compassion. Does that make sense? This is important. That's why until 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 um, the we call the offender, right? That means the one being harmed, offender. It's no more resentment and willing forgive us. That is how we end our negative common affinity with that person. Or the bad retribution, it that's how we repay the bad retribution, or how we end the bad retribution. So this is only in the Mahayana teaching, not in the Theravada teaching. They don't have this kind of teaching. They only care much about first only oneself. It's not other. That is the opposite view. They totally opposite in this situation.
Mhm.
And think about it, if we live in the family and we have a problem with our loved one, husband or wife or children, can we only take care of ourselves and care less about them? Is that possible?
No,
No way.
because there'll be even more problems then.
That will create even more problem. Can we cut up, just like cut it up? Can you be able to cut it? No.
No.
Can we cut our own flesh? When we cut like that means we cut our own flesh.
Mm-hmm.
So And remember, we only try to deal with the positive way. If to the point that we cannot handle it, we keep the distance. We do not cut. And you know what? When we cut with force, we put them into the direction of the bad karma. They will create more bad karma. And you know what? We harm our bodhicitta. I mean, the love and kindness development and compassion development, we harm and we damage, right? And um, and we create even more enemy with even more resentment against between us. And remember, this thing it will follow us just like the shadow. Our shadow follow us. Can we depart our shadow? No, no way. So, and you know, the more when remember when we deal with this thing, when and in the positive way, we willing to sacrifice it for the good cause. And later on, I will give you the model, and you learn that when we come to that point, and you will see it. It's so important in the bodhicitta, and so important for the bodhisattva practice. And once you understand this model, and we will not be, we sleep with the same environment, the negative environment we have before and after. They are the same environment, but you have a different view. And suffering before is very suffer, but now it's not that bad. And you know what? And eventually, to the patient and loving kindness and compassion, eventually we will end this hatred. And that hatred, when it's end, we turn them into the bodhicitta gratitude. That means they become gratitude of us in the bodhicitta way. This is important. Yeah. Mm. So does that help to answer your question?
Yes.
Mm. And you have any other question beside it?
Um,
Oh,
no,
now
no,
come
you're
to the
just
execution
talking
now.
about
Yeah.
this person, and then them finally, that the being that was sent to jail because of them, wrongly committed or killed because of them, that yeah, because of the kindness of the bodhisattva, saying, I guess the water is symbolic in some way, because just like we talk about how the
Mm.
Ganges isn't magical, it can't
Ah,
wash away karma for people, that
ah.
the pouring of the water on the knees must be some sort of symbolism. um
Do you
yeah.
think really water can wash away the thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think he really had mouths on his knees either. I don't think he had mouths that could talk or eat meat. It's all got to be symbolic.
No, actually, actually the bodhisattva help us. That means he already helped that the offender,
Mhm.
and he already helped the offender get out the state of the mind of hatred, because he already said that if you keep going like this, you see how much you suffer for many lifetimes. Now I'm offer you that I will show you the way how to end it. And one that means the bodhisattva help that offender be able to liberate by himself. Give him the way to liberate it. And that means he could be born into heaven, who knows, right? And therefore, the water is just a symbolic because he already take care of the problem, right?
Mhm.
Now the problem is just the water is just symbolic, right? Um, because the offender said that, told him that, yeah, now this problem it now it is solved because the Bodhisattva already helped me and helped you. And you know what? When the Bodhisattva, and come back to this one right here, let's talking about this. This one right here, he killed so many people, and he now be able to attend the Dharma. What about the one he killed? Still harm him? Still have his resentment against him?
I would think so. I mean, he underwent some suffering, which, if they hadn't reincarnated, they're in the Bardo realm following him around, wishing him ill. I mean, they would see him go through these trials and the suffering, but would that be enough to satisfy them?
Actually, the one he be able to attend the Dharma, that means he have the magic, he have the power. And you know what? He worked with the invisible being, that means the one who he harmed. And he will teach them. That means in order to teach someone, you need to have affinity. Affinity could be positive, could be negative. But to the Bodhisattva, regardless it's positive or negative, as long as they have affinity with Bodhisattva, that's all Bodhisattva need. Therefore, Bodhisattva using that affinity to transform. If negative, he will transform to positive, and from there teach them even more. That is the job of the Bodhisattva, nothing else. That's why given is the first parameter to create the good deed, the good connection or affinity with all living beings, regardless friend or foe. To the Bodhisattva, there is no friend or foe. He treats equally to make sure he create the connection, the good connection, so he be able to teach the Dharma. That is the ultimate goal, not the material. Material only help the physical. The Dharma help the spirit. Not only benefit in one life, but many life after. That the whole goal of the Bodhisattva. So when someone attend the Dharma, he will go not only help the living being in the human world, that means the one we are alive, right? He also work with the underground world to do the teaching at the same time. Tirelessly, no tired, and with the whole heart. So that's how he be able to destroy the great evil quickly due to the bodhicitta. And the motivation of loving kindness and compassion puts him to do all these things. So if we are lucky enough to have a good connection with the Bodhisattva, doesn't matter good or bad affinity, we still okay. But I think it's good because we know Dharma. um, um, so the okay, the one for the executioner, right? What about him?
Well, thinking about it in the sense of the person being upset, Yes, I think they'd be more upset at the person who made the decision they had to die. But, still probably would have some resentment towards the executioner. Um, Now, if these people were in fact innocent and they were going to do good things for other people, that the executioner was part of their life being cut short,
Mm.
probably some karma there. But that role is a little, I guess, someone is going to do it.
They did
Um,
that, right, livelihood?
it's not a right livelihood. No way. We shouldn't have a death penalty.
No, no, no. But we should choose that if we have an
Hmm.
option, we should not go there, right?
Definitely not.
Uh, I also my teacher, my master, Tân Đằng Đạt, also always say to the kid, and I also learned from him from this too. If you have loved one or whoever want to join the army or the military, advise them not to. Doesn't matter for good reason or bad reason, for whatever the reason. Even the good reason is very reasonable to defend the country. But even that not joy either. You know why?
Well, they'll be in situations where it's either kill or be killed, and they may, you know, accidentally kill someone who's not even a soldier, or even if they do kill a soldier, is it for a good reason? They don't get to decide where they go or why they go there. The government has all sorts of reasons to send people in different
Yeah,
places.
you see that? You see about the war in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah,
They send the people there. They die for no reason.
yeah.
That's crazy. And you know what? The top one, they are very ambitious because they're of their bad ambition, right? So
Mhm.
and they're the one who make all the decision and order, and we are the one been die for them. Is that good? No, not at all. And we don't want to involve in this kind of killing karma. So better to stay out and choose another career. There are many career out there. Why go here, right?
Yeah.
But not easy for the common people. The one who know who the not have the background of Buddhism, they don't know this. So we're lucky, we know. So we should advise them in the right way. Okay, all right, we can stop here now. If you have other questions, you can ask, but otherwise we can stop.
Oh, no. That's good.
Good. Okay, I think it did today. Very good, very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Okay, thank you. All right, very good. I see
Thank you,
you
Tad.
next week. I'm not too sure. Next week I am